Hello, this is Tuomas and Kalle from Ember Falls. A lot has happened since, was it 2016?
17.
17?
17.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, 4 years, a long time.
Yeah.
A lot has happened, like a pandemic or something, and
Yeah, something like a pandemic. Well, we've been good. It took us a long time to finish the second album, but finally it's done, and tomorrow it's going to be out. And so we're very excited about that. Beyond that, well, there was 2 years we didn't have any shows, so we had to focus on making the album. But it was good nonetheless. Like,
and
yeah,
we had a pretty good luck because the pandemic didn't hit us too hard. We didn't hadn't just published something, and we didn't quite need to do live shows at the time, so
Yeah.
we just could focus on making new stuff, and here we are.
well, we did the first few singles. We actually went to Denmark to record. After that, we basically recorded almost everything by ourselves, and we did some vocal production here in Tampere. And so for the rest of the album, we didn't actually go to Denmark, but it's still mixed and mastered by Jacob Hansen. So we continued the cooperation with him by sort of long distance way. We did send him a message or two, but then we sort of figured out that, like, we felt that we needed to do this album by ourselves, basically, so we can figure out who we are and what we are capable of just as a group. So that was basically more of a not that we didn't have fun with Jakey, and not that he didn't do an awesome job like he did, but it was basically just to prove ourselves that we can do this by ourselves.
Yeah,
Makes
it's gonna
sense.
sound a lot more like us, I think.
Yeah.
At least at the moment, what we sound like.
Our bass player Olli has taken a lot of room in the production phase, and he's basically, of course, along with our JV and Jussi, who also composed a lot of the stuff on this album. Like, I think they did some kind of collaboration wise, and Olli did basically the last sort of fixes to the synths and the production phase. But yeah, it's maybe not as synth heavy album as the last one.
Yeah, and I think what changed also is it went more from the synth industrial sound to more orchestral sound.
Yeah.
A bit more. There's still some heavy synths here and there, but
Yeah.
like a more orchestral sounding.
Yeah, I think we, like, after Mikko left, I think we took a lot of liberties on the songs. Like, not that Mikko had something to do about it, but we felt more free to do things we wanted to do on this album. Like, we didn't have any kind of restraints, because on the first album we had this kind of mentality that we need to do, at least in some ways, a bit of like mainstream and catchy stuff. And on this album we, of course, have those things, but we had more liberties on song structures and
And you
that
can
kind of
pretty clearly see it's like the songs are longer
Yeah,
now, like a minute and a half, like on average maybe.
yeah, we
longer.
didn't think about any radio plays or anything. We just wanted to make good songs and a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially on the visual side, because basically I do most of the visuals and graphics and things, so it's a lot to take on. But I guess when we've done it from the beginning ourselves, it's easy to sort of make it all come together and be a sort of, to have some kind of red line somewhere that it's coherent and works together with our older stuff as well.
Still, I guess we've always had the mentality that everything could change like in a minute, like just like that.
Yeah.
Like anything in the music or like in the design or like everything. It's also can be kind of hard at times, like in the kill your darlings kind of way. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Like sometimes when we have a song ready and we've basically also recorded vocals on it already, and it's basically a ready thing, we might come and change some kind of things, some kind of chords, some song structures. Anything can change, like even when we think the song is ready. So it's that's one of the reasons why it's taken us so long to finish this album.
Definitely.
I guess to some degree, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's, and also it's not perfectionism, just it's also our way of organizing things and stuff, and we've tried to improve that, like in just in this last few months, that we actually have some kind of projects that we actually have. Everyone has a list of things to do and made it more organized, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Not sure whose idea was it, but I guess since this isn't exactly like a concept album, we still wanted it to have some kind of elements that could be reprised, and I think the intro or overture, as you could call it, like it's very musical.
Yeah, it's musical kind of like thing, and or like symphonic kind of like thing. But I don't actually remember many metal bands doing the kind of like thing.
Yeah.
Dream Theater might have done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had overture in one of their albums.
I think every one of our band loves like this sort of reprised themes. If you listening to an album and you hear a song, and then there's a sort of small, it might be instrumental, might be vocal, some kind of line that is basically from another song, and it fits the current song perfectly. And we wanted to sort of make the intro like, this is our album and these are the themes that you can hear on the album. And so when you listen to the album from top to bottom, you hear the different things going on, like in different songs.
That's probably something we're gonna do more in the future if our perfectionism like bends a little bit for that.
Yeah. I think with this album we didn't much think about how they work together. I think we just chose the songs that at the demo phase were the most potential ones that we liked the most, and the lyrical themes are usually the last thing that sort of refines the song. Usually there is one idea when we start doing the demos, that there's one theme or idea that we start to develop the lyrics out of.
Yeah. We usually start doing melodies from like really rudimentary lyrics that are just themes and feelings and stuff like that, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense. It's like rally English or something. No, not really. But
yeah. I think the most interesting, at least for me, is the song For All, since that demo is originally from like 2000.
Oh yeah, it's really old.
13 or something. It's like super old demo that we started to work on. It's been in our boxes for a long time, but we knew that this is a song that needs to be made. And the chorus basically stayed the same. It didn't have almost any quirks in it, but the other song was sort of developed like beyond that. We started from the chorus and the main riff that's on the song, and then we started to develop it from there. And I think the song itself is one of our most interesting ones. Like, it's a long song, it has very interesting parts and different kind of moods. And
I think my personal favorite is We Are Become Fire, because it also has like a lot of stuff, different like genres all together, and like it also had a lot of different lyrical themes at some point, and some even came through in the music video. And it still has like a lot of stuff that kind of like fits together really well, but still it has like there's like a lot of stuff there, both musically and visually and lyrically.
Yeah. And then there's also the sort of ballad, or I don't know if you should call it, the song called Broken, that hasn't been released yet, but that was like some Olli's old demo. He didn't even think it was for Ember Falls, but I went to our archives and I found it and I listened to it and I was like, this is awesome. And then I made the vocal line for it, and it's basically, we didn't do much more anything to it. It's basically that. So it was like very quick, very fast, and very different than we've done before. Of course, we developed it further, added the orchestrations and everything, but I think that's also an interesting song for us. Well, I guess, of course, when we have our album release show here in Tampere, we're gonna have to play the whole album from top to bottom. Of course, we'll add some oldies but goldies, but yeah, it was invented, or it was made to be an intro for the last song, basically.
And we actually kind of like tested it out last gig, which was like really cool. Like Tuomas went almost alone on stage, and the lighting went to him, and there was this like quiet moment in the gig, and I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
We didn't do the last track yet because it hadn't been released back then. Like it is now, yes, but yeah, it's gonna be like really fun to do them together.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like the calm before the storm kind of effect.
It was Jussi, our drummer's idea. I actually don't remember where the idea came from. It had lyrical themes that had a lot to do with like nuclear arms and the end of the world kind of stuff. Do you have any more concrete?
Well, I guess it came from that, like when we started to think about like this nuclear kind of theme, and maybe there's some kind of secret nuclear cult in the world or some kind of like that, and then it came to us that we could maybe add the quote. We didn't add the quote to the song, I used it on the song trailer, and I guess it came from that. And since Jussi is basically our English maester, so
resident linguist.
Yeah. So he came up with the idea, and I think it was I think it was a good idea, and like something that I haven't heard anyone doing.
It was like twisted just enough to be cool and not cliche.
Yeah, and we thought that maybe this will like arouse some discussion about the song, maybe, and that way maybe it can get some publicity. Also, almost like a provoke way. Well, I don't think the song itself was meant to be that way. Like it just came at the right time, I think. But when I started to work on the video, I guess I wanted to have it sort of impact like what's happening in the world today, and especially when there's the newsletters and everything. We actually we did this AI thing that wrote us news articles for the papers. You can actually read. When you like pause the video, you can actually read what there are. There are weird stories on the newspapers, but yeah, I think it was only to have the impact on the music video, and that way the song becomes more sort of, it has more kind of political or societal impact.
It's I don't know which one is my favorite. Either We Are Become Fire or Absent Children, but I'm really looking forward to it. I hope it gets like the love it deserves. Because I think it's really like I'm just like I know the English expression, stroking our own dicks or something like that, but it's really well made.
Not to toot your own horn, but...
That's a lot more polite.
Yeah. I guess why we didn't want to release it was because it has the intro track, sort of that we wanted it to stay, that you don't have to, but you can listen both of the songs like before and after, and it gets the full impact of those two songs. And also, I guess, because it's the last song of the album, so we didn't want to spoil the epic ending of the album and stuff. And I guess that's the reason why we didn't want to release it.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like on the fence about like we did kind of accidentally release single after single. It wasn't like our intention, but it's also kind of like it feels good to have every song on the frame at their times when they're released. Yeah. So there's like, and on the other hand, people don't get to listen to the full album like it was intended for the first listen, and that might be a bad thing for some people. But
I guess everybody has to update their wardrobe once in a while. But I guess we had the idea that since we're now only 5 players and having a new album on the way, and I guess we wanted to have something new, some kind of evolution like to the old stuff, and I guess the old stuff didn't quite well suit to this new stuff. At least that's how I feel, and I think we do still have the sort of red and black theme, although not on our faces.
Yeah.
But I personally wanted to have a bit cleaner look, maybe because I didn't feel like the sort of ripped out things tell who we are. Like since I feel our music and everything is very polished, at least I think so. So I think our clothes and everything should be sort of representing that.
Yeah, it was more like a natural evolution for us.
Yeah. But there might come changes in the future also, so these
Yeah.
are not permanent things, but
Oh yeah, even the folk metal bands of the world have updated their face paint and whatnot over the years.
So why can't we?
Exactly.
we basically designed them ourselves,
Nice.
at least some of it. Most of it is from pre-existing things that we just hand tailor to fit the new look. But yeah.
I hear most Finnish people learn how to sew when they go to university or something, and they get their overalls,
Yeah.
and they have to sew all the badges
Yeah.
on. So that's why everyone in Finland has basic sewing
Yeah.
skills.
Yeah, I got my sewing machine from my mother.
Amazing.
Are there any interesting stories?
I think
Or-
that one of the most interesting story that we have at the moment is in the For All music video. Like we went to Japan and
Yeah.
like that's somehow like epitomizes the whole song, and it's like it's one of the greatest stories in
Yeah.
during the album.
It's
I think.
made for all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the song is sort of dedicated to our fans and people who have supported us, even though we haven't had any live gigs recently, at least not much, and still have stood with us, even though it's taken so long to release this second album, and we're grateful for that.
Olli actually did a chopstick competition with a Japanese person.
Yeah.
Like who picks more beans or peanuts from a cup, and
Yeah.
like needless to say, he lost like totally.
Yeah.
And the guy like totally crushed Olli, and then rose up and yelled, "Nekustu challenge!"
And it was this weird baseball bar. Like there was
yeah.
only this sort of one baseball team's merchandise and everything. It was basically the whole bar was themed like to this one sort of team.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
There's some real quirky bars in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah, but of course, like the highlights were the people and the fans who came to see us, and we, our tailor who made the previous previous clothes, and he actually made us 50 of these small, sort of voodoo dolls looking like who had dreadlocks and everything. He made 50 of those plushies to us to take to Japan and give to the fans. So I think one of the best things was when Chris took them on stage and we just started throwing them out to the people, and they were so excited about those. Yeah, but I think the gig and the people were amazing. I remember vividly me and Olli's taxi trip when we had finished the gig and we went to party in Shinjuku, and we just sat in the taxi and looked out and had this sort of surreal realization of we are actually in Japan, because it's been like I think every one of our dreams for as long as we can remember.
For some reason I remember about the little dolls that look like Tuomas.
Yeah.
Like the next day someone posted in social media like a Tuomas in a little dollhouse somewhere having a tea party. That was like the cutest thing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and of course ramen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we basically ate nothing but ramen when we were there.
As is only what you should do. Except
Yeah.
maybe the sushi buffet. That's
Yeah, I guess our label manager said that it's not as different there as it is in Finland.
I'm still not sure if I believe
I don't
I'm
know
not sure
if I
believe
agree
him,
with
but
that.
yeah.
You just have to go back again
Oh yeah.
sometime.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of gigs there, but I've never got to play there.
Excellent.
I like the venue and I like the place in itself. It's very atmospheric, I would say.
We used to have like the our Jack the Rooster was the place where we usually went to gigs on Tampere, and that place now no longer exists. So I guess Olympia would be a really good like a standard place to go on gigs to Tampere. But we hope to get people there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. That was a nice venue, and they had good food too.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
keeps happening in Finland. It's really
Yeah.
a shame.
It's the pandemic. Shut down a lot of great clubs.
Truly a shame.
Yeah. today we released the Blind Channel cover song. So I guess people already know about that. It was kind of a sort of Christmas bonus. Since we didn't have so many new songs on the album, we had to figure out something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but besides the album, I don't think we have a lot coming, at least this year. Next year, new things.
Nothing in the next 15 days. Like,
Yeah,
Just the album.
yeah,
We are so lazy.
yeah. But it's good to get it out, and it's good to finally get rid of it. Make way for new things, I suppose. We're hoping to get some more gigs next year. We have some already booked beyond the album release show.
We have some summer festivals booked
yeah.
already, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we hope to get some more, but we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I guess we'll release an album and go hibernate for Christmas and
Yeah, yeah. Would we already have some new songs on the way?
Yeah.
Actually, pretty long on the way, but
yeah,
you can just like go on gigs with the new album and then start thinking about it more seriously.
yeah. I guess we want to thank everybody for supporting us and taking the time to listen to our songs and stay on track what's happening with us, and hopefully you'll like the new album. It's took us a long time, and I hope you can hear it from the songs that it's made with love and sweat and everything.
And,
yeah.
and did you say blood already?
No.
I have blood.
Also blood.
Yeah.
Love, blood, and tears.
Yeah.
Way too much fire.
Yeah. Way too much fire.